Welcome to Jerry's Movie Review channel. I am Jerry. Today I am giving a summary and review of the movie Morbius. As always, remember there will be spoilers. Dr. Michael Morbius, played by Jared Leto, the protagonist of Columbia Pictures' MCU-connected semi-horror flick Morbius, embodies the concept of a living vampire. You might be wondering, what exactly does that entail? Did the good doctor manage to become a vampire without the prerequisite of death? Indeed, he fused his own DNA with that of a vampire bat, striving to combat the rare, fatal blood ailment that has haunted him since childhood. The fusion endowed him with extraordinary speed, immense strength, echolocation skills, and a craving for blood partially satiated by an artificial substitute, an act that led Morbius to decline a Nobel Prize at the film's outset. In brief, he's essentially a scientific vampire. Think of it like if Batman pursued a career in medicine, wrong universe, but close. Now, this means that the traditional rules of vampirism don't entirely apply, right? Yes and no. Loxia's crown, played by Matt Smith, Morbius' once closest friend turned formidable foe, employs Morbius' formula to transform himself into a vampire. However, whether he perished in the process remains uncertain, as that part of the story occurs off-screen, likely due to the reshoots and delays that impacted Morbius on its journey to the silver screen. Additional characters experience death and resurrection after coming into contact with Morbius' blood, an otherworldly transformation that bypasses the realm of scientific stuff, as Morbius himself phrases it at one juncture. In essence, the nature of Morbius' condition becomes convoluted and contradictory, not warranting extensive contemplation. This quality reverberates throughout Daniel Espinosa's unconventional superhero/horror amalgamation. The movie's script by Matt Sazama and Burke Sharpless encompasses a slew of metaphors, much like Jared Leto's portrayal of the character. Vampirism as a metaphor for illness? Check. Vampirism as an allegory for addiction? Indeed. However, the film doesn't delve deeply into these themes, opting instead to divert attention by exclaiming, "Look over there," whenever intricacies arise. A superhero whose attempts to aid people inadvertently result in fatalities brings about a morally intricate predicament. Regrettably, the film doesn't capitalize on this potential, often settling for cliched posturing about the duty of the privileged few to safeguard the unsuspecting many. The narrative centers on Morbius, a celebrated scientist whose research is funded by Crown's family fortune. The controversial nature of his experiments prompts the decision to conduct them on international waters, facilitated by Crown's substantial wealth. Yet, following the initial human trial, which leads to the deaths of 8 sailors, the situation spirals out of control. Their lifeless bodies are discovered on a derelict vessel akin to the one harboring Count Dracula in Bram Stoker's classic. This isn't the only nod to other vampire tales. The ship bears the name Murnau, a homage to the director of Nosferatu. Subsequently, Morbius, who became a living vampire as a result of the experiment, ostensibly falls under the scrutiny of the FBI. However, Agents Rodriguez, played by Al Madrigal, and Stroud, played by Tyrese Gibson, fail miserably in tracking him down. He effortlessly returns to his lab with his colleague and romantic interest Dr. Martine Bancroft, played by Audrey Arjona, shortly after the incident. Despite being a headline-making case with a rising body count, the prime suspect roams incognito, often doing nothing more than pulling up the hood of his sweatshirt. But let's shift focus. Does the vampire theme hold up? Regrettably, not to the extent one might hope. Similar to many superhero films, Morbius carries a PG-13 rating, resulting in restrained depictions of bloodshed. The prosthetic work, though credited, gets lost amidst heavy-handed CGI effects. While Morbius isn't part of the MCU, it belongs to the Spider-Verse, hailing from the same studio as Spider-Man: No Way Home. Yet, it shares a shortcoming with the MCU. Action sequences are often hard to follow. Be it the wavy CGI trails left behind by Morbius or the distracting bats, it's difficult to discern the action's nuances. This applies even to earlier sequences, not just the climactic showdown. The movie's reliance on digital effects isn't surprising for a modern superhero film. Neither is Matt Smith's portrayal of the somewhat sympathetic antagonist. Similarly, Leto's portrayal of the hero, though fairly conventional, is marked by the actor's dedicated physical transformation for the role. However, the truly unexpected, and consequently disappointing, aspect of Morbius is its genuine embrace of horror, albeit for just a fleeting moment. Halfway through the film, a nurse traverses a dim, eerie hospital corridor at night, triggering motion sensors along her path. A distant light suddenly flashes, drawing attention to a point in the distance. A shape emerges, and the nurse spots the intruder, prompting her to flee with flashing bulbs. She pauses to catch her breath, and a monstrous hand emerges from the bottom of the screen. She screams. The camera retreats, lingering as each pool of light fades until only the woman's prone body, and the shadowy figure leaning over her, remains visible. Eventually, the light extinguishes, casting darkness over the screen. Feel the gasp escape your lips, dear viewer, for such moments are rare in this movie. Perhaps better fortune awaits you with true tales of the undead. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.